And we're back.
Hey.
Hello.
We're done with
Yeet.
Carl's route, and now we're gonna start up on Leo's route in the middle of it.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay.
Hold on. I need to test my Leo voice. I really want Chase. Where are you, Chase? That's not my Leo voice. Hold on.
It
Usually,
sounds
you
Leo.
give a
It sounds
little,
Leo-ish.
you give a little bit deeper and everything.
Yeah. Because he is. He's buff. He's not a lab. He's a dog, though.
Well, he's a wolf.
Yeah, he's a wolf.
He's a wolf.
Well,
I was giving him more of my lab
would
voice.
it help you if I got into my Chase voice and I said a few lines for you to work off of?
Oh, please do.
Okay,
Who normally voices
Leo.
Leo?
Leo, I want a divorce.
Chase, why? After all we've been through, after high school, you remember that night.
Yes, I remember that night, but look, seriously, you did freaking tell everyone that I was having a headache or something for this past week. That's not cool, man.
Listen, Chase, I know it's best for you. I mean us. I mean me. I've been watching Otter for the past.
Do I need to get a strain order for you too?
No. That's not how a codependent relationship works. I have to fuck up, and then he has to fuck up, and we both have to hold it over each other's head.
Yep, and this is the moment when Leo just kills whoever interrupted the conversation.
Yep. Hey.
Leo just starts
no,
strangling
actually,
Carl.
Leo doesn't kill people. He's just. I got his voice back though, as you can tell. That's really funny.
Putting them to sleep
Badly
forever.
flirting got his voice into it.
Leo wakes
I
up
don't-
early the next day, telling me that he had he had to settle some stuff with his dad at the shop. I don't get as much of a chance to ask why, or how long or how long before he's out the door, yelling something about food being in the fridge. I immediately fall back asleep though, and when I open my eyes again, it's 2 hours later. Leo texted me half an hour ago.
Still at Pop's shop, but be back soon. I think.
I swallow back the lump of dread in my throat as I remember the text messages. I didn't want to confront him, not one bit, but I can't just let it sit. Something had to be said before I leave. I lay around for another 20 minutes before grabbing my phone to browse a bit. That's when I realized I hadn't charged it last night, and my battery at just 25%. I groan and throw an arm over my eyes. One day left to do the project. I'm so far behind, though, that I'm not even feeling any anxiety about it at this point. Just resigned. I should have known better, really, that I wasn't going to get anything done with Leo around. I stared at the wall for a while longer before I forced myself to sit up. No use lying around. I might not be able to make my best project, but it didn't mean I couldn't do a few things to make it less terrible. Food momentarily crosses my mind, but I shrug it off. I've never been a breakfast person anyway. As soon as I leave the house, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I notice things are a bit off. Firstly, it's dead quiet. Usually there's some kind of drone, whether it's the wind or plane overhead. There's usually something. No sound birds either, and those were always chirping in the morning. I stand in the doorway for a bit, feeling a vague sense of tension, electricity in the air. Something building. I shake my head, feeling dizzy. That dream last night had fucked me up in all kinds of ways, so it's not surprising that it's probably still messing with me. I'll be glad to be gone from this place tomorrow. Some rustling next door draws my attention, and I see Kudzu, carrying a set of clippers, walk past across his yard. I open my mouth to say hi, but I hold back, feeling self-conscious. His brooding nature was a bit intimidating, and I didn't know if he was the kind of person who expects a greeting or not. I'm not left to wonder long, though, because he spots me almost immediately and raises a hand.
Morning.
Oh, hey there. He grunts before setting his attention on a bush in front of him, sizing it up. I stand there awkwardly for a bit longer, wondering if that's the end of our exchange, but he speaks up again.
Leo take off.
He nods his head at the empty driveway. Oh, yeah. earlier this morning. I walk down from the porch and walk over to the edge of Leo's lawn, so it doesn't feel like we're yelling at each other. Said something about having to take care of business with his dad.
I see.
Kudzu stops trimming and looks up at me before smiling.
You can come over to my lawn, you know. It's not like I have an electric fence or anything.
Looking down, I see him towing the edge of his immaculate lawn on Leo's side, looking like a little kid. I blush a bit before stepping over to crunch along the tan-covered gravel he had set out. It's weird how nice it all is, especially compared to the shitty trailer sitting in the middle of it all. If he had an Adobe-style house, the place would be Southwestern perfection. This all looks really nice. I guess gardening is your hobby?
Thanks.
Kudzu snips at the bush rather aggressively.
I like it. It's what I do most of the day.
The raccoon moves to the side of the bush, examining it.
It's peaceful.
He gives the bush another snip before resting a hand on his hip, while he lets the clippers dangle in the other.
And it keeps you in shape. Watch me flex.
I can't argue with that, as I watch the raccoon and his tiny stature flex. Although he's skinny, the muscles show through the fur on his arms. He's probably the most in-shape guy I've seen in Neko.
No, he isn't. I am.
I realize I'm staring and quickly snap my eyes back to his, but he's already smirking. I worry he's about to point out that he's caught me, but instead he gestures at my camera bag with his clippers.
You gonna do something for your project?
Yeah. Need to get a bit more film before I leave tomorrow. The slender raccoon wipes his forehead with a forearm.
Anything in particular?
I think. Not really. Just old stuff to show the town's age. Kudzu sticks the clippers into the ground, looking up as he seems to think.
I know of a few things. You go to the old school?
Yeah, was headed there actually.
And there's the ruins next to the lake.
Yeah, was gonna wait for Leo to drive me there later today.
Other than that, there's an old rusted pump up the road, but I don't know if that's actually from Echo's earlier days.
Couldn't hurt to look. Where is it exactly? Kudzu points over my shoulder up the road.
Down past Duke's house, right before the convenience store. It's kinda hidden back there in some bush, but I can take you there.
Oh, if it's no trouble.
It's fine. I've got plenty of time to do this today. Ugh.
Well, alright, thanks. I shift the bag on my shoulder and stand to the side as Kudzu tosses the clippers beside the bush, then starts walking towards the road. I follow him quietly, again feeling awkward under his no-nonsense attitude.
One moment, please.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't expect his line to come up when I was chewing. So you and Leo getting along?
No, we're getting a divorce.
Makes
Hey,
sense.
he said we're having fun. By fun, he means...
Yes, lots of it.
Are we
All
even
of
like?
it.
I don't even know for like 5 minutes in the video. I think we're gonna have to bleep you.
Oh, I'm gonna get bleeped as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
My mind wanders back to the text messages, and my stomach clenches.
Good. He's been looking forward to this week for a while now. Wouldn't shut up about it last week.
I'm somewhat surprised that it's Kudzu filling the silence between us. Not that I mind. He's pretty damn good at it for such a somber guy. I smile. Yeah, that's Leo. He really misses our old pack. Or does he? Kudzu huffs a laugh.
Wolves.
I agree. Wolves. As we walk, I smelled the heavy musk coming from the raccoon, mingled with a scent neutralizer, evidence of a hard day's work. There's something special about hanging out with another musky creature. It makes you less self-conscious. less self-conscious. So I know you hate Peyton, but don't you have to go back there for work?
Back in the day, had a job studying desert plants after college. Good times.
That would definitely put him a few steps above everyone else living in Echo, where a high school diploma is a rare thing.
I'm a clerk in the town hall. So no, I'm pretty much always here.
Always? Do you have a car?
Sold it after I came here.
Wow. Don't you have to get out to shop for food?
Sometimes I grow and fish for what I can, and the convenience store has a surprisingly good produce section. But otherwise, Leo gives me rides.
Ah, gotcha. Again, I'm curious about what exactly happened in Peyton. I'm gonna be gone by tomorrow, and I don't find the question to be too intrusive, especially with all the information he's provided me so far. So, I don't want to be nosy. I let the statement hang for a moment, and Kudzu turns his head towards me.
Then maybe you shouldn't ask.
That stops me short, and I almost stop walking. I feel my face get warm, even under the heat of the sun. I glance over at the raccoon, but his expression isn't accusatory or angry. It's just as neutral as it always is. It makes me wonder if this is just the raccoon's way of speaking. I already know how blunt he can be. I decide to trust what little I know about him and press forward. No? I ask you with the same straight face.
Well, you should always ask yourself if asking something nosy is a good idea. No reason to do it if it's going to piss someone off needlessly.
Ah. Before I can even consider, Kudzu goes on.
Now, considering what we were just talking about, I can probably deduce what you are going to ask me.
I can feel the embarrassment
I like
returning.
Kudzu.
Yeah?
I like Kudzu a lot.
But before I answer it, I have a question for you.
I shrink a little more into myself. Yeah?
Why do you care?
This question definitely catches me by surprise, and at first I wonder if it's just Kudzu's way of telling me to shut up. But again, after looking at his face, I decide just to tell him the truth. I clear my throat. Well, I like you. You're a cool guy. It comes out rather lamely, but it is the truth. He has a demeanor of not really giving a fuck about what other people think about him. It's like Flynn, except Kudzu doesn't seem like he was putting up a front at all. On top of that, he stepped in to stop a crowbar-wielding drug addict when he saw his friend in danger. Kudzu laughs, genuinely, and it's a bit startling.
That's really the reason.
I'm flustered again. Well, yeah.
Fair enough. And I like you too. Leo was mostly right about you. Mostly.
What did Leo say about me?
I said you were
lot
really
of things.
attractive.
A lot of things, but you can't expect a wolf as love-smitten as he is to not exaggerate, can you?
Leo is like the best ever. He squeaks when you hug him.
Chase.
Chase is the best ever. He squeaks when you hug him.
Are you in love with yourself?
I am. And he makes and he's just so kind, and I mean, he doesn't have the personality of a rock, but when you think of him, you just feel like you can relate to him, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like he's the protagonist of like a horror video game or something. I mean, he's that relatable.
Oh, wonderful.
I would assume that... How relatable can a horror protagonist be? Like...
Oh, they need to be super relatable. Otherwise,
Like,
it's
No,
awful.
the thing
Like,
is,
normally.
so I've always found like the generic slate to never be that relatable. You know? Like if you have
That's
an
true.
actual true generic blank slate where they don't really have a personality drive or anything like that, that's not really relatable. But if you give them something like a general motivation, that's relatable still, even though people want to call that a blank slate, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
So like, oh, you want to save a family member. That's technically a general like thing or can be applied to a blank slate, but how you actually apply that is what makes them no longer a blank slate, depending on how it's applied.
Speaking of that, which characters do you all relate to?
From the
PJ.
cast of Echo?
Yeah.
Jenna. Although, probably more so on interests.
Hannah likes her Jenna.
So, if I was to say which one I relate to most, I think it probably actually would be Chase, weirdly enough.
People are gonna hate me for this one, but I have to say for me it has to be Flynn.
Aha.
Because...
Wait, are you saying you're an asshole?
Yes, actually, I am. But the thing is, in my younger years, an old age of 21, 'twas a joke, friends. In my younger years, I was a lot like Flynn. Like, a lot like Flynn. And
Oh, that's fair.
after like a lot of maturing and growing up and being able to actually lead like I wanted to, I guess, because that's the only way I can think of it right now, is like I mellowed out a lot and realized, hey, there's no reason to be like this. You can just be a normal ass and then not have to worry about it and just let people be people.
That's fair. I mean, okay, I should rephrase this. I relate most to TJ now. But freshman in college me, and we've had this conversation, which is why I defend Leo even though I pick on him, which is also why I got maddest at Leo. So, like, both why I defended Leo and why I'm like, that piece of shit, stop, is because freshman in college me 150% relate, well, actually, sophomore in college me 150% relates to Leo. So,
Oh, I was in a relationship like Leo, like, so like I understand why he does things, but at the same time, I learned to just not to, again, it's like, nah, it's not worth it. It's all good.
He dials it up to 20. He does.
Yeah.
The thing I realize is, and this is my opinion, relationships are always going to end up like Leo and Chase's if you don't give a definitive answer and break up. If you leave one person of the relationship always questioning whether or not you're still in that relationship or not, it's always going to end up like that.
Yep. You need we're cutting it clean.
Yes.
This is over.
If you like you said, Leo didn't give any answer. Of course it's going to break Leo the way he did.
Yeah,
you don't
Chase didn't give
that.
an answer.
Yeah, Chase didn't give an answer. Of course it's going to break Leo like that. Why wouldn't it?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, no. I relate more to Leo. Not anymore, because, like, I'm happily married now. But sophomore in college DJ, I feel you, Leo. I do. You also have become a creepy stalker that needs to cut it off. Like, you need... It's been long enough, bro. But I get it. I do get it.
When it happened to me when I was in a relationship that ended like that, I was a bit obsessive, but I never went stalker, so I'm proud of myself for that.
Yeah. Oh, same here, right? Like, I was like, oh, I'm so sad, and, I went through, like, an emo, whiny boy, Mumford & Sons stage. Like, it's a thing I did. But, like, I didn't, like, go, oh, you're hanging out with this new guy. Hey, I'm going to message you on Facebook. I'm going to say hi. We're going to hang out. I'm in my hometown, Let's hang out. Like, no.
Yeah.
But still,
DJ,
I can
how would you
relate.
like to spend spring break together?
Ooh,
The thing that
sounds like a terrifying spring break.
Oh man, that reminds me of my my one voice that I used that really, really hurts when I was still able to play with that card game with you guys at like 10:30 at night. Yes. How's that been going, by the way?
Oh, we haven't done any more of it.
Unfortunate.
We can do it again at some point, like, because now that I'm in winter break mode, I'll be able to find more times to record for when it works for people.
That's fair. But, the thing with Flynn that makes me feel bad for him, and I know where he's coming from, is when you're in a situation where you want to be a leader, where you want to have authority of some sort, and everywhere you look, you get shot down by everyone. It just makes you spiteful and angry. And that is what he is. And like that's kind of what happened. That is really what happened to me. But when I was able to expand, meet new people, gain not authority over other people, but just authority in the things that I do and how I do them. Again, I mellowed out a great deal.
I can see
And
that.
that's the thing that I feel Flynn is missing, is he was never given the opportunity for some reason, even though he's like older than me. He was never given the opportunity to stop being spiteful and to actually like take some semblance of control over himself like he wants to do, or to have that semblance of control.
Yeah. Well, and it sounds like so I don't think he ever got the chance to go to college, right?
Well, even
No, none of the cast went to college except for TJ, Jenna, and Chase.
No, Carl went to college, he just dropped out.
Sorry. Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
but Carl, yeah, he did go, dropped out. Sorry. Well, no, technically Leo also went to college for a little bit and then
Oh,
dropped
did
or
he?
something. It's either he dropped because he was supposed to be taking classes in Peyton at the community college, but then really just didn't pursue it. That was what I remember came up at like as a plot line at one point, was that he was taking some stuff, and like Jenny even said you would have a full on like associate's degree or something, or no, you would have a master's degree by now if you went to college, is what she said to him at one point.
Oh yeah, and then he did his whole thing on college, and then Chase flipped. And originally we were like, wow, Chase, you're being a dick. But then we're like, wait a second. Leo just basically said, yeah, Chase, all that money you're spending is freaking worthless, you asshole.
Mm-hmm. Which I wanted to circle back to an earlier point in that conversation that you guys were having about a character being who you were versus who you are now. Chase is who I was, if I'm being honest. Who I am now is probably close to like a weird, like horrifying fusion of TJ and Jenna.
That sounds like an amazing person, though, so,
Flynn was who I was, but he was who I was like not even 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I still feel like it's rather relevant for me. Because, when you don't have the control that you want over your own life and over, I don't want to say over the people around you, but just over the situation you're in, you take that out on the people around you, which is what he does. As, how else are you going to express that?
Oh, yeah.
But, sorry
Oh,
about
no.
the tangent.
No, it's all cool. It's fun to have these conversations every so often, but we should get back to the plot.
Yep.
No, I guess not. I step on a particularly large rock and nearly lose my balance. It makes me think of an alternate universe where my leg gets broken 8 times over.
Where it is shocking that I can still walk in the epilogue.
Yeah, seriously.
Before I can even stumble, though, Kudzu's grasping my arm tightly, stopping me from running into him, and stopping me from breaking my ankle for the 9th time. Whoa, sorry, and thanks. This raccoon had damn fast reflexes.
No problem.
I start to walk again, but Kudzu doesn't move. I stop and glance at him, but he's looking up the road, not at me.
I lost someone in Peyton.
It takes me a moment to realize what he's talking about, but then I do.
By a guy with a gun who didn't give a fuck.
I swallow and don't say anything, looking down at the ground.
Happened in the same street we lived on.
Of course I have no idea what to say and wait for Kudzu to go on, but he doesn't. When I look up and see that he's looking right at me, I swallow. Yeah, that would make me want to move too.
Yeah, people, and there's less of them here.
I'm sorry. Kudzu just looks back at me.
Why?
I open my mouth, but before I can say anything, Kudzu smiles.
I'm just kidding.
I let my breath out in relief and laugh a little. Well, should we keep going? I make as if to walk up the road again, but Kudzu doesn't follow. When I look back, he nods at the brush on the side of the road.
It's right in here.
I wasn't expecting much, and I'm not disappointed as we come up on the pump. Mostly it's just a rusted piece of metal sticking out of the ground. Kudzu seems a bit put off by how lame it is himself.
Smaller than I remember.
Meh, it's something, at least. I'll get a few shots out of it. I start unpacking the camera from the bag, a bit reluctant to do it for something so insignificant. How'd you find this thing, anyway? I look towards the road, which is basically hidden by the dense brush in front of me.
Needed to pee. You know, my house is right there, but peeing outside is, liberating.
Ah.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go do that.
Kudzu goes off and marks his territory. He pauses.
I can do it in front of the pump if you'd like, for effect.
Force a laugh. Wondering if this is the first time I've heard the raccoon make a joke. At least I hope it's a joke.
It's
My
not
laughing-
a joke.
My laughing turns to a groan, though, when I see the battery level. First my phone, now this?
What's up?
Kudzu asks from a bit deeper in the brush, facing away from me.
Hey guys, I gotta get going. So
Alright, have a good night.
you
Night,
too. See you
Sam.
guys Thursday. Bye.
Bye. My battery is low. Not gonna have enough for the school. I'll have to go back and grab a spare.
Oh well, why don't you finish the footage for the pump while I run back and grab another battery?
You sure?
Yeah, well, it'd be faster. I've been in his house a few times. Where's it at?
In a dock, on his desk next to his computer.
All right, I'll be back.
Alright, just make sure you don't look at the otter porn.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. And with that, Kudzu jugs off. Why did I say jugs?
Kudzu's like, boom, 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 boom.
And with
About to go find something about otters. Didn't hear the last part. I wonder if it's okay.
And with that, Kudzu jogs off out of the brush and back onto the road. Within a minute, I feel like I have all the footage I can get out of the pump.
And you hear Kudzu screaming in the background, seeing more about otters than he'd ever thought he'd see.
I sigh and rub my face, glad to at least be out of the sun, but annoyed I'd gotten so little footage for it. As I'm doing this, I hear what sounds like a gag behind me. I perk my ears and look back. I hear it again, but it's softer, more of a grunt this time. I'm almost positive that Kudzu didn't go that way, but I can't imagine who else it could be. Kudzu? I wonder if maybe the heat has gone to him. I know how dangerous a heat stroke can be. Getting a little worried, I start moving further into the brush. Again, I hear a gag, and it's much louder this time. Cud, you alright? I start pushing deeper with a bit more urgency, and not 20 yards in, I come into a clearing. The ground is covered in dead grass, and the sun hits me again with a vengeance. I blink furiously, eyes watering under the brightness of the clearing and the blazing red behind my eyelids. After a few seconds, I am able to pry open my eyes. The first thing I notice is a peeling trailer to the right, pressing into the trees. I have some vague memories of a trailer back there, where a grumpy badger used to live. Straight in front of me is a meadow. Straight in front of me in the meadow is a dead tree, one with dry, gnarled branches that twist up into the sky. The tree itself would be eerie enough, but what's under it is what stops me dead. It takes a moment to comprehend what I see. Hanging from the lowest branch is a body, long and thin, emaciated down to the skeleton. I remain rooted to the spot, my mouth hanging open. Disgustingly, my mind immediately goes to the camera. I don't know why. Yeah, showing footage of a dead body to the whole class. Either I get an A for being edgy, or I fail for showing a fucking dead body. Probably expelled actually. I feel my stomach starting to turn, and I'm finally able to take my first step back. But then it moves.
Oh gosh, no.
It's a quick jerk, one of the skeleton's hands reaching up spasmodically to its neck before slumping back down. With my eyes fully adjusted to the sun now, I recognize the color of the fur, the build of that skeleton-like body.
No.
Clint!
Oh, okay.
On unsteady feet.
I like Kudzu.
Yeah, no, Kudzu's not dying anytime soon.
Oh mate, I feel real... Well, here, I'll let the scene finish first, and I'll...
On unsteady feet, I manage to stumble forward and reach out towards the ringtail, aiming to at least hold him up until I can shout Kudzu over to help. Somehow, though, he's able to spin and face me, his face an expression of mortified fury. His eyes are almost glowing with how bloodshot they are, and his twisted muzzle is covered in drool, leaking down his chest onto his down his chin onto his chest.
Get back! Leave!
What?
Oh god.
Clint, what the hell are you doing? I move forward again, but Clint lashes out with a foot, hitting me in the knee. That's when I see his toes are touching the ground, at least barely. I stare in confusion and look back to meet Clint's furious eyes.
Leave!
Spit flies from his muzzle as I take a step back, completely at a loss for words. I don't... His bulging eyes move from mine to look over my shoulder, and then his enraged expression melts, eyes growing wider. Slowly, I turn around, and my vision is filled with a mountain of brown fur. My eyes take a moment to draw out and focus, and when they do, I realize I'm actually looking at a bear. A huge one, even for a bear. Huge, naked, and carrying a long, thin branch. The bear stands in the direction I'd come from, grinning stupidly at me. Instinctively, I widen my stance, eyes looking left and right. All reason seems to have left the land of Echo, and now my brain's left to try and put the pieces of the crazy place back together. I watch as a huge tongue sticks out from between the blurry lips to lick at them, sliding slimily between the gaps of missing teeth. Once he's done with that, he breaks out into a grin again, those black lips shimmering under the sun.
This is a friend, cat?
The weirdly high-pitched voice is about as startling as his size. I look back at Clint, who's still struggling to stand on his toes, clutching at the rope now.
So hard finding a good switch back there, but now it's worth it. If there's two ears.
The squeak that comes out of my muzzle seems to perk the bear's stubby ears, and he licks his lips again as he eyes me up and down. I should get going.
Wow.
Sorry about seeing... Words fail me as the bear takes a step forward, and I start sidestepping, preparing myself to make a run for it. The bear mimics my stance, and my stomach drops as I see him take another step forward. I change my trajectory and back away instead. This time he doesn't follow me, just grins as he watches me move back into the brush. Clint struggles on the end of his rope, twirling around lazily as he tries to get a foothold. I get one last look at his face as he spins around, and I'm struck by the expression. For a moment, I'm 9 years old again, running behind the buildings on Main Street, probably from the imaginary foreign agents of some kind. When I hide behind a tree next to Clint's house, I hear the screen door open, and for several minutes, I watch Clint breathing deeply into a rag. I'm too young to understand, but for some reason, I know it's not good. When I finally decide to run from my hiding spot, Clint looks up and we meet eyes. His eyes are wide and wild, confused and hurt, just like now. I stumble into the brush, finally feeling like I'm far enough away to turn and really make a run for it. Kudzu is standing next to the pump when I get back, holding a battery.
Hey, it's fun when you talk and you're muted. Am I right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Did me
Been there.
voicing the mouse come through?
Oh, what mouse?
Oh, right. Or no, not mouse. Cat.
Yeah, that came through.
All right. By the way, I want to say how how amazing you can voice the bear.
Oh, for Hannah?
Thank you.
Yeah, because I was sitting there, I was like, it's gonna be weird, and then I was like, nope, never mind. I forgot he has a really high pitched voice, so this works perfectly.
Mhm. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I deliberately took Hannah to the side and went, "Hey, I think this would be a good character for you. It's either you or me who does this, and we're gonna go with you since I already have Chase."
She basically asked him, all I know is he asked her, he was like, this is going to be something terrifying and evil. Are you okay with this?
Oh yeah, not Brian. Totally not Brian. 100% not Brian.
It's fine. That's his name, but the name alone's not gonna tell you what he does. So
I mean, we already know some things he does, so...
He's a character, man. He's a character.
Yep, and I've
I-
done a little
I-
bit of... Or, go
I
ahead.
have my misgivings about him, but unfortunately I can't talk about them now. Not yet. Soon, but not yet.
once
Yeah.
I'd say like once we get to the first like choice that branches, I think that's a good chance for you to talk about him. So not this week, but maybe next week or the week after that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I have seen some of the stuff that he does later on. I'm not gonna say, but yeah, essentially there's one point where I think I was voice acting and most other people were either leaving or had other stuff to do, and then I was like, yes, this would probably be a good time to practice.
I've been helping her practice, and she's doing even better. I am very excited for when she gets to go to those scenes.
I'm scared of my wife.
I will say that every time I talk about him, the only thing that ever comes to my mind is the fact that monsters aren't born, they're created.
I will agree with that. I
I'm
think that's
so
part of
scared.
this.
I'm so scared.
Because no, I can't talk about this.
Yeah, we
'cause
gotta say
Yeah,
it.
let's read it. Let's keep it going.
What? Oh, what?
I grab his arm and yank him towards the road, and go, "Oh, whoa.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Come on!" I muttered under my breath before jogging down the road, Kudzu close behind, looking over his shoulder. It's not until we're at the end of the road, turning onto Main Street, before I'm able to slow myself down and tell Kudzu what happened.
Oh, that's Brian. That's
Yeah, oh my
Brian.
god.
Who?
He just knows this guy.
I'm still panting, sweating heavily in the heat after the short jog down the street.
Big ass bear that lives in the brush, right? Yeah, he has a trailer in there.
I don't know him.
Oh god, Brian, I know who he is from Arches.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit, it's good they got out of there.
Is Brian in Arches?
Yes, he is.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Oh
I'll
shit.
Oh no.
I'll
Yeah,
show
we've
you
seen
the
him
scene after we're done
briefly.
recording tonight. I'll show you the scene that he's in, because it's really easy to find.
Thank you. I am fascinated.
I'm terrified.
Did he move here after I left? I thought a badger lived in that trailer.
I assume so. He was here when I got here.
Well, what the fuck was he doing? What the hell did I just see? My mind is still trying to process it.
I don't have the answer. Can't say I'm surprised, though.
Are you serious? That's like the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. Kudzu smirks.
Well, I guess I would have had to have been there, huh?
I stare at him. Yeah, I guess.
But from what I know of Brian, he's dumb and violent. Pretty sure he came here because he was caused too much trouble in Peyton.
It's Clint that's the fucked up part. He's a fucking homophobe, but he's doing that shit?
He is not, actually, but okay. I don't know much about Clint either. What I do know is that Brian is his dealer.
Oh, did I say the line wrong?
No. You said it
Okay.
right. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
you
Chase
said
is wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because if you go back and read that, Clint doesn't have a problem that Chase is doing it with that Chase is gay. He
Oh,
has a
yes,
problem that
yes,
he's
you're
doing
right.
it with
Yeah.
Leo. And
If
that's what he said. He's like, it doesn't
yeah.
even, it's not even that, he goes, it's not even bad that you're doing it with, that you are, it's just, it's bad that you're doing it with Leo. Why does it have to be Leo?
Hmm. Yeah, I'll agree with you fully on that one. Really?
Well, really, he's the entire town's dealer.
It made sense that Clint would need one Neko, considering he was banned from life from driving after getting like 3 DUIs. But I thought Jeremy did that. Carl told me that's where he gets his weed. Kudzu shrugs again.
I assume Clint is using more than marijuana.
Huh. It's becoming clearer what kind of relationship Clint and the bear have. I shudder, just wishing I hadn't had to witness it. I already feel bad for Clint, but now... Kudzu holds out the battery still in his hand.
Want to move on to the school?
Yeah, let's do that. Alright, it's 10:30. I think this could be a good calling point.
All right. I like Kudzu a lot. I did not expect to like Kudzu this much.
So each route gets their own side character, and Kudzu is my favorite of the 5 side characters.
Oh, dude, this guy is badass. I love him.
Because of granted, I haven't seen Carl's route, but what I've seen in Leo's, TJ, and Flynn's, I'd have to agree. Kudzo's my favorite.
Kudzu,
Granted, the person in Flynn's route has my second favorite.
yeah, Daxton's really good too.
Daxton's
I like
great.
what's her name actually a lot as well.
Raven?
No, Janice, yeah.
Well, Janice isn't one of the side character or secondary protagonists. That's what I'm trying to say. So in each route, like one side character gets to like join the group and basically becomes like an extra member of the group, like the 7th Ranger style. So Carl gets Raven, Leo gets Kudzu, TJ gets Julian, who is the other guy that works at the diner on the off shifts that Janice isn't working. Then you have Flynn's roommate, Daxton. And then last but not least, in Jenna's route is Micah, who is honestly like the one that I find the most funny. I find Micah just absolutely hilarious as a character.
Micah also used to date TJ.
No, that you're thinking Heather.
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
Yeah, was Micah the one that you had shown me a little bit of, Alan?
Maybe? He's the one that's a bat.
Oh, no, never mind. No, I was thinking of the chick.
Then that would be Heather.
Yeah, that's Heather.
Yeah, no, Heather is, Are you guys okay with a small soft spoiler?
Sure, that will work.
Heather is the...
Makes sense.
Anyway.
She
well,
wants
and-
that Chase booty too. Everybody does in this town. Even Brian is like, otter.
Weirdly enough, booty calls are not part of Heather's motivation. It's strange.
It's impossible. Scientifically not possible.
Anyway, let's go ahead and say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.